in my 21 years of living on this earth, I have never hated a couple more than this kids show. Let's discuss. Just for the record, I would rather watch 2 hours of Spencer cheating on Teddy than watch one more episode of these two. But here we go. Also, whoa, please don't mind my atrocious hair. I just got back from an 8-hour school day. When you're in college, that's a lot. So guys, if you watched The Nine Realms, and if you saw my other videos, then you know. Oh, you know. My least favorite couple ever. Not just for kids shows, not just for animation, ever, is June Wong and Tom Cullerson. Okay, guys. People even call these two characters, like, this ship, the new Hickstrid. Which breaks my heart. It breaks my freaking fragile heart. It's one thing to not like a couple, okay? It's one thing not to like a couple, but they should at least make an episode where when the main characters get together, make it good and show the audience what this couple can bring to the show, what they can bring to the table. But no. So, the episode where my least favorite couple in history got together is bad enough. But showing a collected group and number of kids who watches this show about what love should look like, it's not cool. Because this couple should not be a representation about what a healthy couple looks like. Because love does not look like this, or at least it shouldn't look like this. Okay, because this episode not only has manipulation.
Can we just get out of here and then discuss this?
Fine, if you want to avoid the issue.
Non-stop bickering.
Why don't you say it?
Because you're supposed to. Ugh, never mind, this is pointless.
Gaslighting.
Go ahead.
Oh, me? Why do I have to start?
Because you started this whole thing.
And they still get together in the end? So, what I liked about Hickstrid, okay, not to always bring up Hickstrid, but what I liked about Hickstrid is how the writers also make time to show us, like, the good, like, intimate moments between the two and the very casual moments, you know? But whenever they are showing Tom and June have these moments, it's only, like, solely in the background, so it's hard for us to see them actually being cute. We only see them fight, quite honestly. But anyway, this episode actually begins with Tom and June trying to be cute, but you can tell by the way they were looking at each other that they were going to get together in this episode. You could just tell. Because first of all, they never cared about each other to look at each other with those certain eyes that they looked at each other in the beginning of this episode with, and not to bring up Hickstrid again. Really, not to. But again, we literally see how much they care for each other before Hickstrid even officially got together. Like, I keep forgetting that the Buffalo Lord Soldier episode of Race to the Edge actually took place before Hickstrid even officially got together, which is crazy. Like, they had one of the most romantic moments I've ever seen in a kid show or movie or anything, and they weren't even officially a couple. They said that they can't live without each other, and they weren't even officially together yet, and I keep forgetting that, which is crazy, honestly. Like, honestly, Tom and June barely act like friends. I might do a whole review on the 7th season in general, because it is nuts. Like, it is crazy how crazy the season is. And this episode is just the beginning. But honestly, this is literally my least favorite episode ever. Ever. Because of everything that happens with it. Like, again, Tom and June barely act like friends and they get together at the end of this episode. And sure, you may bring up the incident where they got all flustered when Alex accused them of lying about liking one another. Like, it just seems so forced. Like, it really seems so forced. Like, they put that in just to, like, remind us that Tom and June are meant to be a couple, even before they officially become a couple. You can tell from the first episode that they were meant to be the couple of the show. And I really can't explain why you're supposed to know that. But you can just tell because they're the first people who know each other, and it's always a big trope that the people who knew each other the longest always get together. I'll get into that in a second. Like, honestly, I was rooting for Tom and Alex. I'm gonna be completely honest. They have way more better chemistry, and it's weird how that wasn't intentional. It's really weird.
It's hard for me to let people get too close.
We all did, Tom. But I let you into my world. You're a natural leader, Cullerson. You just don't know it yet.
Fire.
Not so fast, Hotch. I'm a lot of fireflies.
Nice shot, Alex!
He's gonna tell it anyway because we're all on the same team and we share things with each other.
But Eugene then accused Tom of liking June, and then he got all flustered again and then started fumbling on his words, and for a split second, he called June weird. Yeah, okay. He called June weird, and holy hell, was that a mistake. Was that a freaking mistake, bro? It was a mistake.
I've known June, like, forever. Since we were little kids. That would be so weird. Right? If that were true?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no.
Even Thunder was cringing at this action, like seriously. Side note, before Eugene asked Tom what he and June were talking about, Tom says that, well, we knew each other for a long time, so we have a lot to talk about. Huh? Like, first of all, at this point in the whole show, Tom and June have been on, like, this island for at least a year, I'm guessing. So they had a lot of time to catch up, if that's what he's so worried about. Like, what were they even talking about? Like, hey June, remember when I was 5 and then you threw a rock at my face? And then June is just like, I sure do, Tom. Hey, remember when we were 2 and we scraped our knees at the park? Hey, hi. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Like them knowing each other the longest is their only saving grace for the couple, honestly. Like, whoa, I just got double vision. The show is making me blind. So, as I was saying, like, them knowing each other the longest is, like, their only saving grace in the show, which is really weird. Because, like, just because they knew each other for years doesn't mean that they have to get married and have kids. Like, people can meet their spouses in college, and then they could be their true loves. Like, come on. Like, Tom and Eugene probably knew each other for the same amount of time. And I don't see them frolicking in a field of roses. And that brings me to another point, guys. To another freaking point. Okay? Another point. Tom and June literally haven't known each other for as long as they say they do. Because in the very first episode of the entire series, when Tom and June first see each other for the first time in years, June says,
You look different than I remember.
and then Tom says,
I can change in 8 years.
bro, just admit that he hasn't seen June in 8 years. Sure, they knew each other when they were young, but they haven't seen each other in 8 years. It's not like they know each other from the back of their hands. Like, what? Like, okay.
My daughter will show you around. You remember my June bug, don't you?
June? Yeah? Yeah.
Especially because they're young, too. Like, 8 years. These 14-year-olds haven't seen each other in 8 years. Now, I may be no mathematician, okay? But they haven't seen each other since they were 6 years old. Like what the heck, you frauds? So anyway, literally the entirety of the episode, I'm not exaggerating, guys, I wish I was. The entirety of the episode was June gaslighting, manipulating, and downright putting words into Tom's mouth from a few sentences that he barely uttered. He barely freaking uttered, dude. Like, Tom goes out to find her after she storms off when she gets all pissy or whatever, and she does that really annoying thing that lots of people in cartoons do that really bother me. It really bothers me. Just like when they dramatically cross their arms and then they just backstab the person that they're mad at. I just hate when characters do that. It's really cringe. I hate it. But when Tom tries to apologize, June gets like more and more pissed. Like, they're actually... They literally run into a cave to get away from Buzzsaw, and then they get trapped in it. But June was still bitching at him the entire time. Like, they could die in there. I think there's more issues than your blonde knight and shining dragon scales calling you weird. Like, what? Like, he tries to lighten up the mood, but she just takes any opportunity to make him feel worse about himself.
We should find a way out. I'm sure you don't want to be stuck in here with me any longer than you have to be.
Like, okay, like, if you're still mad at him, that's one thing, but literally insulting him any chance you get, at least let this blonde Hannah Montana looking character at least explain himself. You're not giving him a chance to freaking explain himself. Like, okay, there's another storyline about the rest of the gang, and is not really compelling either. Just a B plot that they needed to fill the time that really just could have been cut and it wouldn't matter. It just consists of Alex, Eugene, and D'Angelo tormenting the Hunchmen to try to get them to tell them where June and Tom went, and obviously they have no clue, so the torment was for nothing. Literally. So back with June and Tom, they were literally about to be killed, for God's sake, and then June was too busy telling Tom about the same thing as before. Like, what do you want him to say? Like, what do you want him to say, dude? She keeps repeating herself, and he keeps saying he didn't mean what he said, but she doesn't believe him. And then when Tom was like, we have to stop fighting and we have to save ourselves, she got mad again and said he was avoiding the issue. Like, y'all are about to be eaten. Y'all about to be eaten. Like, that's more important. And you're the one who isn't listening to him.
I just said that we've known each other since we were little kids, so it would be weird.
See?
Like, he kept trying to explain himself, but she wasn't having it. Like, what? Like, so when he finally gave up on explaining himself, since, you know, she wasn't listening, then she got mad again because he wasn't responding anymore. Like, homeboy can't freaking win.
Can we just get out of here and then discuss this?
Fine, if you want to avoid the issue.
He can't freaking win. He's the star of this show, and he can't win. He can't catch a break. Oh god. Like, I don't know what's like with June and the term weird. Maybe she has some sort of trauma with that word, because Tom was like trying to explain himself, and then she literally got pissed again when he just said the word weird in a sentence, like not even directing it at her. Like, he literally just said weird in a sentence, and she got so triggered, I swear to God.
Now you're putting words in my mouth.
It wasn't just what you said, it was the way you said it.
How? How did he say it? He was just stuttering. I'm so lost.
Weird, right? If that were true, you know, wouldn't that be like super weird? Like June. She's weird. No, she's not. That's just really a stretch. It's because we're like, you know.
Then Tom actually complimented her, and then she was like, "Yeah, I know." Girl, you were just mad he was being rude, but take the damn freaking compliment, girly. Take the freaking compliment. You're the rude one here, dude, I swear. This scene really makes my blood boil. Like, Tom was trying to train a dragon, and then June changed her attitude from being plainly just rude and mad to being like obnoxious and irritating and very immature, may I add. Because she kept making backhanded remarks at Tom to get a reaction out of him just because he barely briefly called her weird. Like, I swear to God. But from her ears, she must have thought that he called her ugly, awful, horrible, freaking plain disgusting. Oh, sorry, that's just what I think about her. Anyway.
Careful, Tom. If you mess this up, you'll be stuck in here with me forever. And we both know you'd hate that.
You know that's not true.
No, but her pettiness, like, directed at him, like, literally, like, the pettiness that she directed at him was crazy. And he even called her, like his best friend, while almost getting his arm chopped off. But then Thunder pulled him back. Now let's play a little game. Okay, let's play a little quick game. How do you think June reacted to this? Okay? A, she asked if he was okay. 2, she goes up to him and nervously helps him up. C, she ignores what just happens and continues to be awful to him about the same old thing she's been complaining about for the entirety of this episode.
What the heck? Who was that for?
I guess you offended her too. You're on a roll.
In a satisfying turn of events, Tom begins to give June a piece of her own medicine by acting and saying all the same things that she's been saying to see how she likes it. And she, of course, gets all flustered as well. But, of course, she then blames Tom for messing up her concentration.
You scared her, and now here comes her whole colony.
June literally did the same thing just a moment ago, and almost led him to having his arm chopped off. And he never blamed her. Interesting. But then she blames Tom for breaking her concentration when she was just doing the same thing to him. Like, literally a few minutes before. I'm sorry. What? Then they figure out that they need to make up in order to bond with the dragon. But then June would not stop, guys. She would not freaking stop. Like, blaming him. Blaming him for breaking her focus. Bro was so freaking stressed. He was so stressed. He didn't even know what to say anymore. He just sighed and looked so defeated.
It looked like it was working when you tried.
Yeah, and then you broke my focus.
Like, even when they were trying to make up, she started screaming at him again. And I can't believe I'm even saying this, but after all of this, Tom still has feelings for this girl. What?
What if she doesn't feel the same way?
Be goddamn glad. Of course, Tom still ended up being the one to apologize to June first. Tom confesses his feelings for her, and she replies but doesn't really say much, quite honestly. June then technically ends up, apologizing, barely, sort of. Even a supposed genuine thing that comes out of her mouth always seems backhanded. It always feels backhanded. Like, all Tom said was good things about June when he was apologizing. Like how she's so cool, she's an awesome person. But all June had to say was that he was crazy, and he had some really bad ideas, but some good ones too. If Tom called her crazy, he's gonna be running up that hill. She also apologizes for making him apologize, but saying it wasn't just his fault. Dude, it was your fault. I'm sorry. It was your fault. Like, sure, I guess obviously it was his fault for calling her weird, but it was your fault for being so overdramatic. Like, just let him explain himself. That's all he had to do. But of course, they freaking get together in the end, officially. But thank God they did not kiss because I could not handle that. Spoil, but they only kiss once in the whole show, and it's after they already broke up once. And it's the final episode of the show. And Tom's eyes were opened.
Had your eyes wide open.
So I also like how from the gang's point of view of this episode, the last thing that they saw of them was just June storming off pissed at Tom. Then all of a sudden they are back together. Like, I don't know why that's kind of funny from their point of view. It's like, what happened in between? Okay. I might make a whole like analysis about this couple because even though I really don't ship them, as you can tell, they might be compelling to some people. And it might be interesting to do a whole video essay on them because like, just to see how they came, if you know what I mean. Ooh, not like that. I just can't believe it's a kid's show. The episode where the only couple in the show gets together is the most toxic episode in the entire series, guys. Like, at least make it somewhat more wholesome. Please. So, I know this is a short video and it's not that exciting. I just had to freaking rant about this, guys, because I was gonna initially do like a whole entire season review. I don't know if I could do that. I don't have the time to edit everything. So I'm just gonna make some random reviews on episodes that I just want to talk about. Maybe I'll make like a different review on like every episode or something, just to like, instead of making it all one video because that'll take forever. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys next time.